to change the definition of family. And when we allow things, as far as this generation or our government or people who pose on what God has set from the foundation of time, it is a dangerous thing that we accept anything than the truth. So, the goal in this sermon series, One Family Under God, is to give you a clear understanding of what family is to God. Amen? One family under God. A man noticed a crack on the wall. And how many of you have seen cracks on the wall when the foundation is fracturing, is fractured? And so I lived in places where, well, it's not this bad, but I'm close to it. You know, and you're like, oh my God. But there was a man that noticed that there was a crack on the wall. Amen, in his living room. So he called the painter to repair and cover the cracks. How many have done that? You know, just trying to cheat the system and, oh, it's just a crack. Let's just put hot glue and let it settle. So this man calls this painter and he tells him, you know, go ahead and paint over this crack on the wall. And I'm assuming that he would, if you go back to the picture, he would have trouble painting that crack. But a few weeks later, the cracks reappeared. So the man called the painter back and said, hey, once again, I need you to cover the cracks on this wall. Paint over them. Whatever you have to do to get the cracks out the wall. The problem looked like it had been fixed again. However, several more weeks later, the cracks reappeared. So the painter says, hey man, I've done what I could possibly do in my profession. Sir, I cannot help you with these cracks on the wall. The man answered, well, why not? Because the problem you have is not the cracks, but it's your foundation. See, the man tried to easily cover what was not the problem. Even though you noticed the problem, but it was the cracks were not the problem. It was the foundation in his home that was fracturing. You can try in so many different ways to cover things in life. Society, our generation, has tried to redefine family in our lives. It's not necessarily a crack issue in our generation, but it is a foundational issue that we're having. The foundation of the family in this generation is fractured. You can see it in our children, in our school systems, and in our government programs, how children are so lost and confused, are hurt, many children, I've read through it last night and this whole entire week, how they compare the rate of suicidal amongst children with problems in the home. If you want to fix the cracks, you have to fix the foundation. But unless you fix the problem, you will forever be doing patchwork. If we are going to stand in this generation as a family, whether you're newlyweds, whether you've been married for 31 years, 5 years, 10 years, whether you're engaged to someone, whether you're planning on marrying somebody, know this, that God intended and has intentions for family. I'm sure that most of us, or most people in our country, agree that our society is crumbling. How many, by the raise of hand, agree to this? There are all kinds of cracks cracks in our social. There are social cracks, economic cracks, and relational cracks. In our society, chaos often describes the state of the family. Relationships between wives and husbands, children and parents are broken. Divorce and redefinitions of the family abound. While there are many efforts to fix the cracks, they are just symptoms of a shifting family foundation. See, the breakdown of the family is the single most basic reason for this generation in our society, our culture.